So this isn't really a guide or anything, this is more of just how I did this, but yeah, this is how I put regular 1 1/8" bars on my Duke 390 and moved my dash, which the reason I moved the dash was because when I put these bars on, I got rid of the old dash mount. Yeah. So to change the bars, I wanted to just run some regular Pro Taper fat bar clamps so that I could run just regular fat bars. The problem with just trying to put those on the Duke in its stock form is these are the stock bar mount bushings, and that hole is a 10mm hole. The Pro Tapers use a 12mm bolt, so obviously that's not going to work. You can just remove that sleeve and run just the rubbers. I didn't try that, but you probably could. I don't think it would be great. Or you can get like some cheaper fat bar clamps on Amazon, and these actually come with a 10mm bolt or stud. The only problem was it was too short, so I actually had to make my own bolt by putting it in a lathe and just turning down the head and grinding it flat. It was stupid. It did work, and then I just ran it in this, obviously. But as you can see, it fits. But there was a lot of play, like a lot of flex when you were tightening up the bars, so I didn't like that. That's why I made these to replace the rubber guys out of just some aluminum. Let's see, I think it's like 19 or 20, about 20 by, I think height wise it's about 20. It's not super important as long as it's not so long that it can't clamp on either side of the triple. Again, the top part right there is like 4 or 5 mil, not super important. Same with the top diameter, it's like 32 mil. Doesn't matter too much. And then obviously the inner needs to be about 12 mil so that it can fit. So that's how I got it to be able to just run regular Pro Taper bar mounts, so that if I bend my bars, I can just get any fat bar, throw them on there and be good. I don't have to, I know you can get 26 mil bars from like Baggeros, but they were out of stock when I was looking for them, so this worked for me. And then for the dash, all I did was, you got your dash right there. I made this little bracket, which just bolts to that. Like, you can see it's just a little wedge shape. Here, hold on, I'll actually bolt that on. Alright, so that's bolted on there, as you can see, and then the zip ties just run through little slots right there. And yeah, that's what it looks like. I actually had to trim a little bit off of there to clear the plug because I suck at measuring, I guess, but you can see it's literally just a little wedge that bolts through and has places for the zip ties. And I'll show it on the bike, but basically it just ends up kind of like zip tying against the bars, holding the clamp, like holding itself flat against the clamps like that. Yeah, originally this was going to be temporary, and I was going to make like a clamp setup instead of the zip ties, but I think I'm just going to keep running this. The zip ties are solid. The only thing I need to do is figure out turn signals, because you lose your turn signal mounts when you do this. But I will go put this on the bike now and show you kind of what it looks like on the bike. Alright, so there's your hole, and yeah, there's just one from the top and one from the bottom. And that's obviously what it looks like with the bars bolted up. You can kind of see the spacer there. You gotta run your plug under your bars. And then that's what it looks like when it's on. Zip ties just go right there and there. Hopefully that all makes sense. Like, this is obviously like what they look like, or what the dash looks like on that bracket. It doesn't really move anywhere. I mean, it can move a little. It's only held on with zip ties, and I didn't want to get crazy trying to make like notches and stuff to hold it in place on the bar clamps, because this was kind of just a test to see what happened, if it even worked. And I just wanted to get the dash on it and get these bars on it so that I could ride it without the stock bars, because I just didn't like the stock bars. Yeah, it's actually crazy to me that no one just makes a bracket for the dash with some little aluminum bushings like that to run these bar clamps and just sells that. Like, I made the bushings obviously out of aluminum on a lathe. I was trying to think of ways you could do it with like 3D printing something, and you probably could, but this seems to be the most sturdy way to do it. And I tried looking, and none of the other like rubber killer bar clamp deals or bar adapters looked anywhere close to being the right fit for this, so I was kind of on my own. I did run the other Amazon, I don't know if I said this in the other clip, but I did run those bar clamps and it worked. It's just when you tighten them down, there is a bunch of flex there because of the rubber bushings, so my bars were constantly not straight. So this seems to be working much better. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully that helps.